Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Westfield, Wisconsin, and another evening of high school football. It's week number 2 of league play, and we've got a good matchup for you as the Nekoosa Papermakers take on the Westfield Pioneers in South Central Conference football action. My name is Tom Kirst. Along with me for this broadcast is commentator Dan Schmidt and our cameraman, Mr. Jim Allen. We're certainly glad you could join us. Our thanks goes out to Nekoosa High School and River Cities Community Access for helping us bring you presentations of NHS sports. Nekoosa and Westfield renew their rivalry this evening in a game that's certain to light up the scoreboard. Both teams enter the game averaging right around 30 points a contest, so it may come down to the defenses and which team does a better job of controlling the opposition. Westfield enters this game 3-2 on the year. They opened their conference play last week with a win. They had a convincing 42-14 victory over the Dells. Pioneers are pretty balanced on offense. They put up over 1,000 yards rushing on the season, with quarterback Alex Slowey leading the way with 441 yards and 9 scores. Slowey also throws the football well, completing 26 passes on the year, good for 562 yards and 6 touchdowns. Nekoosa stands 4-1 on the year. They have wins over Amro, Byron, Illinois, Poynette, and Mauston. Their lone loss came at the hands of a pretty good Columbus squad, that in week number 4 of the season. Papermakers, too, feature a strong running game led by Colton Kokoka. Kokoka coming off a huge game last week against Mauston, in which the senior rushed for 183 yards and 4 scores. He also excelled in other ways, intercepting a pass and also scoring on a 74-yard punt return. Defensively, Nekoosa has played well this season. They've allowed only 59 points through 5 games. Defensive end Hunter Miller and linebackers Trent Layton and Tarek Tuttle lead the team in tackles. Nekoosa won the coin flip, but they decided to defer, and they kick it away to Westfield. Little pooch kick there by Brad Savage. Down to about the 35-yard line. Hunter Sipla on the stop for Nekoosa.
Do you think that was delivered, Tom, or?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I mentioned to you, Dan, that last year when these two teams met, Nekoosa kicked off and Westfield brought it back for a touchdown. I don't know if that's a haunting memory for Nekoosa or what. But, yeah, that strikes me as sort of odd because they have such good kicker in Savage.
Yeah, it wasn't really an onside kick. Like you said, it was just a little pooch kick.
Nekoosa was kicking into a bit of a breeze. I don't know if that was a factor either. Westfield on the offense on the field. Quarterback Alex Slowey pitches to Tanner Akers on first down, and Akers down the right sideline. Cody Schmidt in pursuit, and Cody finally catches him, but not until Akers takes it 65 yards. Looking back at the 36-yard line, though, there's a flag on the field. Have to check that out. If that's on Westfield, it'll be a huge break for Nekoosa. It is.
Yes, it is. And that was thrown long before he broke free, Tom.
Not going to be any bigger penalties than that tonight.
No.
So that holding penalty is going to take the football back 10 yards, I believe.
Boy, instead of being 1st and goal, now you're 1st and 20 from what? From the 20.
I'm going to mark it about the 25. Boy, Akers has some speed, though. He sure showed that on that play.
Yes, he did. I thought we had it well covered, to tell you the truth.
From the Westfield offense, you're going to see a shotgun formation probably all night. They like to mix it up. They'll take a few chances. They'll throw in a few gadget plays. It'll be an interesting offense to watch. They put up 42 last week against the Dells.
And then again, early in the season, they lost big.
They did. They've given up a lot of points defensively. So from the gun, this time Slowey keeps it. He tries the right side, and he has good success.
Boy, he was only one Nekoosa defensive back from a touchdown.
13 yards on the carry. 2nd down coming up for Westfield. So, yeah, the Pioneers have run 2 plays and ripped off some big chunks of yards on both.
They don't have a lot of players, Tom, but when I went through the roster, and I told you before that they have 15 players that are 200 pounds or heavier.
They got quite a good senior class here, too, at Westfield this year. Kids that have been playing football 2 or 3 years. Yankee with a good carry. near a first down. They're going to mark it, I think, just maybe a yard short. It is third down.
Less than a yard.
So sure looks like Westfield wants to beat Nekoosa to the edge in this ball game. And they've been doing a good job of it in the first few plays.
Who called the timeout?
Well, maybe they're going to measure it.
Oh,
You
that's
look
what
at
they're
the
going to do.
45-yard line where the ball is sitting. There's a little hook to that line going across the field.
A little hook.
Little hook. I was a member of the crew painting our church parking lot lines recently, and that's pretty much what my line looked like. But it is short of a first down, probably by about a foot, if that.
And as mentioned before, those line markers are not science.
Well, they got quite a crown here to the Westfield field also. That probably makes it a little more difficult even to paint those lines. Third and very short now for the Pioneers. Slowey, surprised by that snap. Ball's on the ground. I think Nekoosa has
got
it. Boy, that play just didn't look right from the get-go.
No.
Hunter Sipla recovered the football for Nekoosa, and the Papermakers catch a big break. Actually, that's their second big break here in the early going.
Yes, it is.
First the holding penalty, and now the turnover. Owen Linsmeyer, leads the team to the line of scrimmage. Owen, a senior. Behind him in the backfield, Tarek Tuttle and Colton Nekoosa. That looks like a broken play also.
I agree 100%, Tom.
Owen ends up keeping the football and picking up very little, maybe a yard.
If he was going to hand that ball off, there was nobody close to him to hand that ball off to.
Yeah, it looked like a miscommunication there somewhere. Owen did the right thing, though, and just turning it upfield as quickly as he could and getting what he could get. Aaron Peckham in motion. He gets the football. Looking for some room. He's got the edge. Inside the 40, down to about the 37. And a good pickup for the Nekoosa offense.
We might want to mention too, Tom, that if you notice something on all the wrists of the Westfield players, everybody has the plays taped to their wrist.
Well, that's what they did last year anyway. I failed to notice that here.
I just noticed it on some out there now on the defense.
So some of the offensive players playing on defense, yeah. Peckham picked up 6 on that carry, by the way. Nekoosa still needs another 3 for the first down. Third down and 3. Bring it this way. Tarek Tuttle finds a nice hole, breaks a tackle, and fights his way down inside the 20-yard line. That'll do it for the Nekoosa sophomore. 18 yards on the pickup. Nekoosa's first down.
Derek made a nice cut on that. And he had nice blocking.
Tarek's been running the football well, especially when you consider he's just a sophomore. He's also one of Nekoosa's leading tacklers on defense. First and 10 from the 20. Nekoosa inside the 10, fights his way near the goal line. That's going to be another first down for certain.
And it's hard to tell where he went out from our angle.
And that looked pretty easy that time to get, again, the corner.
Looks like the 5.
So 15 yards and first down number 2. And Nekoosa now first and goal. Trying to get on the board first here. We played about 3 minutes. Westfield turned the ball over to the Papermakers at the Westfield 45-yard line. So Nekoosa's driven 40 yards now in 4 plays. Straight ahead. Nope, excuse me, a second man through. Is that Tuttle? And a nice job stacking it up
No gain.
by Westfield. Brett Middlestad on the stop. So we're still sitting at the 5-yard line, second and goal. This would be a huge stop, obviously, for Westfield. Ball set at the left hash mark. See if Nekoosa runs right here. They do. Tuttle Breaks the tackle down to about the 2, I believe.
Yep.
Third down coming up, though. I would think this is 4-down territory for Nekoosa this early in the ball game.
No field goal?
I can't see us taking a field goal unless we lose 5 yards here. We'll see what Coach Jason Becker comes up with here. 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line.
Let's hope we don't have to make that decision.
Tunnel
nothing.
met right at the line of scrimmage by number 23, Mark Hewer. And he stops the Nekoosa halfback short. Maybe they're marking the football about the 1-yard line now, maybe 1.5. It's a long yard, let's put it that way. Now it's decision time, and Nekoosa's decision is to go. Hunter Sipla brings in the play from the Nekoosa bench.
Well, it's all going to come down to blocking.
Tuttle lines up at the wingback position this time. Actually, there's 2 wingbacks on the field. And we get a flag and a delay of game. Wow, that surprises me. I really didn't think Nekoosa was that slow in getting the play going, but well, that makes the situation much different now. Nekoosa 4th down now and about 6 or 7 to the goal line. So on comes senior Brad Savage. He'll attempt a 24-yard field goal. And he puts it through. So Nekoosa draws blood first here in this ball game. 7:16 to play, first quarter. It's Nekoosa 3 and Westfield nothing. Brad Savage. Another squib kick.
Yeah.
Ball's on the ground. Who's got it?
I don't know.
Nekoosa player got down there, but I'm not sure if he's on the football
I'm
or not.
not sure either.
No, Westfield got it back.
Yep.
So again, Nekoosa with the squib kick. And this time pretty effective. But Westfield will have pretty good field position, starting from their own 33-yard line. Pioneers certainly moved the football in the first possession. Had a big play nullified by a penalty. A 13-yard run, a 6-yard run, and then the fumble. See what the Pioneers come up with this time. Again from the shotgun, Slowey. Gonna keep it. 9 yards for the Westfield quarterback.
Well, it can't be a secret to Nekoosa defense and Nekoosa coaches that Slowey's going to keep it. That was the statistics that he had for the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks of football.
That was like a student body right that time. He had all kinds of blockers in front of him, including his running backs. And they're saying that the spot is close enough for a measurement. So here on come the chains.
I tend to agree with them. It is.
Beautiful night for football tonight. It was about 70 degrees yet. Probably a little bit warmer
First
than
down.
that. So 10 yards for Slowey and the first down. We've been very fortunate to have good weather every Friday night so far through this football season. And of course, October right around the corner. First and 10. Slowey keeps it again. He likes that right side, doesn't he?
Well, that's probably where his blocking is, Tom. Another 5 yards, 6 yards. More like 6.
6 yards out to the 49. We're a fairly long way away from the field tonight here in Westfield. They have a track around their football field, which always pushes you back a little bit further. And a pretty low vantage point, so it's hard to pick up a lot of the numbers right now, especially defensively on the tackles. Flag down on the play. And Nekoosa does a pretty good job of stringing out Tanner Akers to the sidelines.
I would think it has to be against us.
I think that has to be an offensive penalty. It's got to be a motion or illegal motion.
I would have thought they would have stopped the play immediately.
Well, if it's
no,
offside,
that's
they
right.
will. Yeah,
offsides they would.
But if you get movement in the backfield or something like that. Now they picked up the flag. So about a yard on the pickup.
Huh.
And third down coming up now for Westfield. Ball just barely touching midfield. See if Slowey keeps it again. Nope, hands it off straight ahead. Spencer Burke trying to get to that first down yardage.
He's got her.
Driven back by Hunter Miller, Dylan Bauer.
Man, not now. No.
Justin Mortel also went on the stop. Yes, Jim Allen says short. He's on it. Still a yard to go for that first down. It's fourth down, and Westfield's offense still on the field. They're going to go here.
Oh, I would too.
Little different formation. Only one back behind the quarterback, and they fumble the snap again.
He didn't make it.
And Nekoosa recovered the fumble, so it really doesn't matter. Boy, mistakes really hurting Westfield right now. The second fumble they've lost in as many possessions.
And on a crucial down.
So Nekoosa with another good chance here with a short field. Starting from near midfield. I think they were just going to sneak it that time. I think that was the plan.
I agree with you.
But Slowey again seemed a little bit surprised by the snap and when it came. Linsmeyer hands it off to Colton Kokoka, a short gain to midfield. So Westfield's done a pretty good job of controlling Colton Kokoka thus far. Nekoosa needs to run the football to be successful.
And Tyler Yankee over here on the end here, number 80, 215 pounds.
One of their leading receivers too, I believe.
Yeah.
Straight ahead, Kokoka down to about the 45.
About 3 yards short of first down.
So now it's Nekoosa facing that third down.
You know, a lot of your high school teams that have running quarterbacks are very successful. For some reason, you know,
especially with a good athlete like,
yes.
like Slowey is.
Well, Johnny Egan was another one for Wautoma.
Straight ahead, nothing there. I believe that's number 60. Brandon Peters made the stop inside. The big offensive make that defensive tackle. Stuck the Nekoosa running back for a loss of 1. So see if Nekoosa now brings on the punt team. Yeah, Westfield surprising me with that front line. They've done a good job of controlling Nekoosa's rushing game for the most part. The Papermakers have not attempted a pass yet. Brad Savage on to punt it away. Better hurry. Got it out of there. And it takes a hop toward the sideline. It's going to go out of bounds just inside the 20. So the Westfield defense does a good job there. Gets the ball back to the offense with 3:28 to play here in the first quarter. Nekoosa on top 3-0 thanks to a 24-yard Brad Savage field goal. We're all surprised about how well or how easily Wisconsin Dells, or Westfield handled Wisconsin Dells last week. And I think that's a real sign of an improved Westfield football program. Slowey right side off tackle.
Yeah, because we thought Wisconsin Dells and basically Wisconsin Dells, Wautoma, and Westfield would be contenders for the South Central Crown this year.
Oh, Wisconsin Dells was off to a good 3-1 start too when they and they hosted that game last week, I believe. 3 yards, or make that 2 yards for Slowey on first down. 2 receivers left this time. Man in motion. And they pitch it to that man in motion. Makes a good move, but Nekoosa with real good pursuit. Justin Mortel, Tarek Tuttle doing a good job of getting to the football, and I think they probably lost a yard.
Well, we should see a pass now.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? We have not seen Slowey throw the football yet, and he's thrown the ball, like pushing about 60 times in 5 games. So, and he's got a nice throw. He's got a nice touch, and he's got some good receivers.
Yeah, he agrees as far as the receivers. He has some real good receivers.
Pretty good pressure, and I think that was the difference that time as Dylan Bauer got a lick in on the quarterback. And Slowey had a rush that football intended for Tyler Yankee.
And Yankee was wide open.
So now it's Westfield that brings on the punt team. Colton Kokoka back, waiting for this punt by Alex Slowey. And you'll see, if they're like last year, Slowey will also be a threat to run here. And here he comes. Pretty good decision, eh? Deep from his own territory, Alex Slowey from punt formation carries the football 32 yards for a first down. Boy, Nekoosa's got to stop that kind of stuff, huh? That's a real momentum swinger right there.
Yeah, he had no intention of punting. Once he got that ball, he took off.
Exactly what they did last year was Slowey as a punter. He'll roll right, roll left, look at the field, and either punt the football or evidently take it down and run. I'm sure they have a pass option on that too.
They'll come back to that pass again to Yankee.
New set of downs. Little inside counter. Tarek Tuttle did a good job of getting in the way of that play as Tanner Akers takes it for about a yard. Tarek with good penetration that time.
Yeah, he was in the backfield and got his ankle right at the line of scrimmage.
Almost broke up that whole handoff. Difference between last year and this year for Westfield is that they do go to a huddle between plays. Straight ahead,
nothing.
Not much. Spencer Burke met by Justin Mortel and Dylan Bauer. And Nekoosa starting to stiffen defensively.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything. There was no blocking for Westfield on that. None whatsoever.
That almost looked like the old sucker trap where you pull a guard and hope that the tackle's going to follow the guard and you run up the hole. Didn't work with Dylan Bauer anyway.
Now's where you want to go back to that pass that you had to Yankee, who was wide open.
Again, the key for Nekoosa is good pressure on the quarterback. We'll see what happens here on 3rd and 10. Mortel with good pressure. Cody Schmidt with a pick. Cody down the left sideline, looking for blocks. 40. Knocked out of bounds at the 35. And Westfield turns it over for the 3rd time in the quarter.
They did go back to that same play, except we had 2 defenders there.
Well, again, it was the pressure. I mean, Justin Mortel all over the quarterback, and yeah, Slowey definitely throwing that football off his back foot. And it just hung up there, and Cody Schmidt made a nice play on it. So Nekoosa with now only 40 seconds to play in the quarter, 1st and 10 from the Westfield 34. They pitch the football. Tarek Tuttle tries to make a cut, and he is dogged by number 28, Luke Nelson. Broke away from Nelson and picked up about 4 yards. Good effort by Tarek.
He got a lot more than I thought he would, Tom.
Actually, they gave him 3 on the carry, but yeah. Nekoosa doesn't really know what to do with this Westfield defense right now. They've had problems running straight ahead. They're having problems running wide.
They're going to let the clock run out.
And that is a fact. First quarter is going to end. So we played 1 from Westfield. Our score, Nekoosa 3 and Westfield nothing. So Nekoosa heading in the other direction as we begin quarter number 2. First, make that second down and about 7. Owen will throw it. Got a man. Got a target. Got a touchdown. Hunter Miller hauls in the pass from Owen Linsmeyer, 32 yards to the end zone. And Nekoosa extends their lead to 9-0 with 11:52 to play here in the second quarter.
He was wide open, Tom.
First throw of the game. And a good one, a nice job by Miller taking it all the way. A little hesitation move at the goal line. Brad Savage on to attempt to try. And he kicks that one deep into the night. 11:52 to play. First half, it's now Nekoosa 10 and Westfield nothing. So Nekoosa with their third kickoff here the first half. Let's see if they hit it long this time. No, it's another little pooch kick. Big hop. Collected by number 88, Brett Middlestad, and he's drilled immediately.
26-yard line, 27.
Yeah, inside the 30. I think I'd go with the 27 here. That's where Westfield will begin. So Nekoosa surprises the Pioneers. The first play of the second quarter. And they now lead 10-0. But as we mentioned earlier, Westfield has a lot of offense themselves. This isn't going to be a 10-0 game at the end.
No, I can guarantee you that.
They've had some big plays already in the half, but they've shot themselves in the foot 3 times. They can shoot themselves in the foot another 8 times. It's okay with me. Don't get me wrong, but they run it on first down again, trying to get to the edge, and Nekoosa with good pursuit. And they put down Akers for a short gain. Aaron Peckham out there for 1.
Boy, doesn't it look like they gain all kinds of yards and then they spot the ball and it's nothing?
Yeah, it's sort of a strange angle we got today.
Yeah.
Again, we're so low. And we're stationed at about, what, the 42-yard line on the other end. That's a little odd looking down the field. Second down and 10. Man in motion. Slowey.
Boy,
Under pressure. Throws it away. There's nobody out there. And I'm not sure in high school if you can do that. You can do that. Now you get out of the pocket in high school, you ground the football.
Yeah.
Huh? So how about that, though? That pass rush really helping Nekoosa out right now.
You're right. The pass rush is doing it.
If Westfield has a screen in their arsenal, I would think this would be the time, or maybe last play would have been the time to run it.
See, and that's the bad thing about having a running quarterback, too, because you're after the quarterback all the time.
Yeah, like a slip screen would really be an effective play, I think, against that Nekoosa pass rush. They staggered the count this time. They do get Nekoosa to jump offside. So that's another way you can try to slow down the rush. Very effective. Papermaker's first penalty on the night. Make that their second. They had a delay penalty in the first.
And Larry McCarron would say there's no excuse for that. You just watch the ball.
Yeah. He's got a point,
Yep.
but it's not always that simple. Maybe it is for a pro. I doubt it.
You want to get to that quarterback. You're trying to get that jump on your defense.
You're trying to get an edge.
Yeah, on the offensive player. Trying to get on that blocker.
Slowey trying to set up a screen here. Dylan Bauer in pursuit. He finally finds a receiver.
He lost.
And Yankee breaks a couple of tackles, goes down hard, but he does go down for a loss. Good effort by Tyler Yankee. But he still came up about 5 or 6 yards short of the line of scrimmage.
No, he lost. Yeah, the line of scrimmage was right.
So they lost about 6 on the play. It's the first completion of the game, by the way, for Slowey.
You fooled me once, or you fooled me twice.
Now the punt team on, and again, Nekoosa knows they have to keep an eye on the Westfield punter, Alex Slowey. One man back, that's Kokoka. And he hits an end-over-end kick. Colton is going to shy away from that one, let it roll inside the 20. So a very effective punt for Westfield.
But to me, Tom, that's okay. I mean,
You got the football anyway.
we got
right?
the football.
Yeah, I really like what Westfield does there. I mean, they really complicate things because not only can Slowey run, he's also got 4 receivers out there. You got to cover them as well. The weakness to the whole thing might be a good pass rush. Or a punt rush in that case. 10:05 to play, second quarter. Nekoosa 1st and 10. They mark the ball at the 18-yard line. 1 back behind the quarterback. Sipla in motion. He gets the football, and he's not going anywhere. Good play by number 80, Tyler Yankee. From that defensive end position, came up and put down Sipla for about a 3-yard loss. I really think Nekoosa's best bet here is some quick hitters straight ahead. I don't think they're going to outrun this Westfield defense.
It's taking some time, too.
We'll keep an eye on the back judge this time. He's starting to count right now. Nekoosa with 5 seconds to get the playoff. They do.
Boy, no.
A lot of penetration.
Yeah, all the blockers are 5 yards downfield. There's nobody in front of them.
Brett Middlestat put down Tarek Tuttle for no gain. So Nekoosa quickly 3rd and 13.
I'm going to have to watch and see if they're just beating our offensive players, just getting around there. Are they quicker that they're getting around them, or?
I'm sure Nekoosa's well scouted by Westfield.
I got to look at the 3 here on the right side here.
Spread things out here from the shotgun for the first time. Owen Linsmeyer. Is that pass picked off? It is. Owen tried to force one in there, and Alex Slowey from his defensive back position picks off Owen Linsmeyer. And now it's Westfield with the turnover. And they have great field position at the Nekoosa 28-yard line. First time Westfield's had a short field tonight. Let's see if they can cash in. Or better yet, can the Nekoosa defense hold? Man in motion. Slowey runs that ball that same way. Picks up a good gain. I think he's probably got another first down, or very close to it.
Very close to it, Tom.
Official taking a look. Here comes the referee to take a look. And he says, I don't know.
We're going to measure.
They wait for the authority to get there, and then he says, I don't know. And another measurement. This was their 2nd or 3rd of the night. By far,
First, no, a little short.
Westfield's most effective play tonight has been Alex Slowey keeping the football. Always running right, by the way, too. Westfield had 73 yards on the ground in the first quarter. Nekoosa with 53. Yeah, a lot of those 73 yards for Westfield was the quarterback Slowey. Of course, he picked up 32 on that fake punt also. Great down for the offense here. 2nd and very short. You can run it, you can throw it. They run it. Slowey. A little slow developing that time. He's probably got the first down. But a nice play defensively by number 53.
They're saying he lost.
Really? He lost a yard. Well, I don't know. I don't see any difference in the chains across the way.
Well, line of scrimmage then.
3rd and still
Half a foot.
less than 1.
Well, maybe they'll fumble it again, Tom.
They're in the shotgun. I'll look for Slowey to run right here.
I look for him to pass.
You'd be right. Touchdown. Alex Slowey finds Brett Middlestat for a 19-yard strike. Westfield on the board. They now trail 10-6 with 7:30 to play in this ball game. Make that in the first half.
throws a nice ball, doesn't he, Tom?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that one. Put it right on the money. And again, Westfield on the board. They'll attempt to kick the extra point. Number 22 was John Weischauer, and he booms it through. 7:30 to play, second quarter. It's now Nekoosa 10 and Westfield 7. Westfield now kicks it away to the Papermakers. Kicked heading for the sideline. It does go out of bounds about the 13-yard line.
Where's it going, a 35 or 40? They change it every year.
I think you get an option. They can re-kick it, or you can take the ball, as Dan's saying, the 35 or 40-yard line. What is Nekoosa going to do?
35, it looks like.
They're going to take it at the 35. Paul Tordoff, by the way, was the place kicker, or the punter, the kickoff man that time for Westfield. Nekoosa has been struggling offensively. Another shot here, 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. A single back behind the quarterback. Sipla in motion, and he's going nowhere. Boy, Westfield jumped that so quickly. Number 28, Luke Nelson, who is one of the linebackers, I believe, for Westfield. He turned that play in beautifully. And Sipla simply had no place to go. Last 3 rushes, Nekoosa -3 yards, 0 yards, and 0 yards. Westfield doing a great job defensively. Tarek Tuttle lines up wide this time. Owen trying to get the ball to Cody Schmidt, overthrows it.
He was hurried too, Tom.
Right now, Nekoosa losing the battle up front. This Westfield defense is controlling our front 5. Fired up Pioneer team. They haven't beaten Nekoosa probably in 10 years. 10 years ago, plus, Nekoosa and Westfield were the doormats in the South Central Conference. The game to win between these two teams was the Nekoosa and Westfield game, because that was your win for the season. Nekoosa, of course, has improved drastically, and Westfield doing okay, too. Owen taking some chances there.
Yeah, he fumbled the ball.
Well, he tried to pitch the ball, and it was sort of an ill-advised pitch, and now Owen's slow getting out. Tarek Tuttle did pick up the football and picked up about 3 yards, but Nekoosa now facing a 4th down and about 7. Owen does jog off the field. I would expect to see the Nekoosa quarterback on the field next time around. Brad Savage on to kick it away. Nick Holly back deep for Westfield. Had a pretty good rush on the punter last time.
They were practicing that, Tom.
Nekoosa better be careful here. Savage with a nice high punt. Holly is going to let it hit, and it takes a Nekoosa roll down around the 20.
Yeah, I'm going to say about the 17-yard line, 18.
So a good punt by Savage. And now Westfield with 5:51 to play here in the half. Starts from their 17. Well, I'll go with the 18. Trailing by 3. If you had to look at this first half and say who's had the better half, you take the turnovers away from Westfield. I think Westfield has by far had the better half.
Oh, I tend to agree with you, Tom. I have a hard time disagreeing. Like I say, it wouldn't have been for the turnovers.
They run it wide. Brett Middlestadt tripped up. Fairly short gain. Aaron Peckerman on the stop for Nekoosa. They're going to mark it a yard upfield. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Pioneers. What I thought was going to be an offensive shootout is turning into a bit of a defensive battle.
Yes, it has.
Slowey on 2nd down, wants to throw, and he's going to go down. Great pass rush. Justin Mortel puts down the Westfield quarterback for about a 10-yard loss.
Yeah, and that's That's the key to their passing game right now. If we can get to the quarterback like we have been, except in that one instance, he doesn't have time to find a receiver.
That time he had no chance. There was other paper makers around Mortel, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost looked like screen blocking, didn't it? I mean, because it just wasn't there. 11 yards on the loss. 3rd down and about 22 now for Westfield. They're going to run. Can't let them get outside, and Aaron Peckham does a good job along with Colton Nekoosa.
They both did an excellent job on that, Tom.
They bring down Akers for a short gain. Still 22 yards to go for a 1st down, so the punt team on for Westfield.
We think it's a punt team.
They got a different man back there this time. Is that number 10 in punt formation? No, that's Slowey. I'm sorry, that's 15. Not much decision this time, and
Oh, poor punt though, wasn't it?
It's a fairly short kick. I thought maybe it was going to go out of bounds right away, but it sort of hung in the field of play, and it turns out pretty well, really.
You notice how none of our linemen rushed that time? They just played, they floated the line.
Take away the run. Well, I'm sure Nekoosa knew that Westfield handled punts in this way. They just didn't handle it very well on that play back in the 1st quarter. That's where a coach starts pulling his hair out, right? You work on it all week, and you mention it, and then it happens. 3:42 yet left to play here in the half. Owen Linsmeyer back in the ball game. Nekoosa starts from their 45, but there's whistles.
Center took off and then hiked the ball.
Can't do that, huh?
No. Center snapped the ball after he was a yard downfield.
You got to keep a good eye. You know, we got a good vantage point right now. We got to keep an eye on the battle up front. So I said a minute ago, or a few minutes ago, Nekoosa losing that battle.
You know,
but I'm not sure why. They just got that many guys in the box, or what's the deal here? Westfield does have good size, like you said, Dan.
You know, these are 2 high school teams. You're not running the ball. What kind of adjustments do you make, you know?
Yeah, Westfield has a 4-4 defense just like Nekoosa, but they've got a lot of folks up front. Tuttle, make that Nekoosa a short gain across the 50. Maybe about a yard, really. 2nd and 14. Now you watch it, Dan, right now. They've got a 4-man front. They got 4 linebackers, and those 8 players are probably within
a yard of each other?
4 yards of the ball.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, Nekoosa's tight also. So it's just a battle up front. Westfield does have 1 safety that's about 100 yards behind everybody else. There's a little hole there. Time for Tarek Tuttle. And Tarek picks up about 5. But Nekoosa's still facing a 3rd down and 9.
And Tom, that was what you said. Straight up. Get the ball and run straight up.
I think that's their best shot. You know, you got that many guys up, you got that many defenders up, you might pop one through there. And Westfield's done a good job of turning the outside plays in and then pursuing.
And we're not spreading them out either.
Owen. Lets it fly. Colton Nekoosa with a catch.
Did he catch that?
On a 1st down for Nekoosa. You betcha he did.
I watched the wrong guy.
There were 2 receivers in the area. And Colton with the catch. They're going to mark it at the 30, so 15 yards. For the Papermakers, Owen's 2nd completion tonight. It's 2 out of 4 throwing the ball. He has thrown 1 pick.
Here we go, right up the middle again, Tom.
Straight ahead. Is that Tuttle or Nekoosa? That's Nekoosa. Good gain by Colton, about 5. So Nekoosa driving the football a little bit now. We're under 2 minutes to play in the half. 2nd down and 5.
No, don't go
Trying
around.
to get outside, and that's been a problem all night.
Yep.
Tarek Tuttle took that off tackle play and tried to get outside against this Westfield defense. And he ends up losing the 5 that Nekoosa just picked up. And I believe Nekoosa's taking a timeout. Big third down play coming up for the Papermakers with 1:41 to play here in the half. Next week, Nekoosa will be home again. I believe it's homecoming next week. First week in October. Their opponent at Holland Field will be Wautoma. That ball game next Friday night, the 4th of October. Wautoma and Nekoosa at Holland Field. Hope to see you out there. Don't forget all the fun events that surround homecoming all week, including the parade and the pep rally and whatnot on Thursday. Hopefully the weather will be as fantastic next week as it has been this week. Other ball games tonight besides this ball game, Adams Friendship is at the Dells and Mauston is at Wautoma. In last week's conference games, of course, Nekoosa topped Mauston 41-6. Wautoma defeated Adams Friendship 49-0, and as I mentioned before, Westfield defeated the Dells 42-12. So Nekoosa, Westfield, and Wautoma enter tonight's action all 1-0 in conference play. The Dells, Mauston, and Adams Friendship 0-1 in the South Central Conference. So Nekoosa all set to go. Big third down play here. 3rd and 9, the ball at the 31. Gonna throw. Nekoosa diving, made the catch. Does he have a first down? Yes, sir. Boy, did Colton lay out for that football. 15 yards downfield. And the Papermakers' drive continues. Pretty good protection that time for Owen.
Yes, it was.
Minute 25, clock running. Nekoosa runs it on first down. Tuttle off tackle inside. Down near the 10-yard line. What does Nekoosa have left? They don't have the timeouts on the board, do they?
No.
So I think they have 2 timeouts left, right? Oh, they have just
no,
have one?
I think they have two.
Yeah.
I thought they called one, but they didn't.
About a 6-yard pickup that time for Tuttle. The
Now we
ball's
spread 'em
marked
out.
now at the what? The 7 or the 8? No, it's marked at the 10. Excuse me. Tuttle straight ahead. No, that's Nekoosa. Did he get in? He's stopped short of the goal line.
But it's a first down.
But it is a first down. Colton took it from the 11 down to the 2. And all of a sudden, Nekoosa having some success driving the ball straight ahead. Now, the challenge begins. 1 or 2 yards to pay dirt. They run right side. Touchdown. Colton Nekoosa takes it in from a yard out. And Nekoosa gets a big score just before the half. 34 seconds to play in the half. They now lead 16-7 over Westfield.
That was a nice drive, Tom.
Couple of big plays, completions to Nekoosa, both of them. And Nekoosa's all of a sudden could run the football after those completions. Brad Savage, 3 for 3 on the night. 34 seconds to play in the half. It's now Nekoosa 17 and Westfield 7. Nekoosa, Brad Savage hits a line drive down the middle, bounces around, picked up around the 15-yard line. Tanner Akers is going to go down just over the 30-yard line. They're going to mark it at the
1.
I'm trying to find a mark out there. 32-yard line, let's go with. Let's see what Westfield does now. Clock down to 26 seconds. They have a first down. Have they used a timeout yet in the half? I think
Now they have. Wait, no. Equipment problem?
right now Nekoosa having an
No,
equipment
no,
problem.
equipment problem.
Looks like Tarek Tuttle having a problem with his chin strap. They've got that fixed now.
Well, if you're Mawson now, you don't want to make a mistake either.
Nekoosa with a little different defense here. They've got
Westfield, I'm sorry.
Xavier Vicente, the safety, way back along with Tarek Tuttle in the defensive backfield. And Westfield runs the football straight ahead for no gain. Spencer Burke with the carry. And it looks like Westfield might be content with just letting the clock run out.
Yeah, the head coach took his headset off.
Well, that's a certain sign,
Yeah.
then. He's out of here. Clock runs down, 3, 2, 1, and the first half is in the books. Good first half of football action here from Westfield. Our score at the break, Nekoosa 17 and Westfield 7. Second half, just a couple minutes, if that, away. Nekoosa leading 17-7 at the break. Not a whole lot of offense, unlike what I would thought was going to happen in this ballgame. Nekoosa 138 yards in the first half, 76 on the ground, and 62 through the air. Westfield with 93 total yards in the half, 80 of those on the ground, 13 through the air. It's really been a Nekoosa passing game that's picked up the offense, especially in that second quarter, when Owen was 3 out of 5 for 62 yards and a couple of big catches by Colton Kokoka. Westfield has it teed up, and they kick it deep. I just lost $100. Cody Schmidt looking for an opening, and he's going to be wrapped up just across the 30 to about the 33.
You know, it surprised me on that kickoff, Tom. It looked like their players did not know what was going to happen. They moved and then they stopped. And
Westfield?
Yeah, Westfield.
They were uncertain as to what the kicker was going to do.
Yeah, it just...
Maybe it's his decision. And they just react. I don't know. That would be sort of odd, though. Let's see if Nekoosa can move the football on the ground here in the second half. They had their problems in the first half, averaging a little over 3 yards a carry. They run Aaron Peckham on first down, a flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
That didn't take long now, did it?
Yeah. What would you say, holding, offsides?
I think it's probably a procedure penalty. Flag's on this side of the field. It's not close to where the runner went down. Aaron, by the way, picked up about a yard. And here comes the call from the referee. I'm not sure what that is. A blow to the head?
I don't know. He had his hand behind his head.
So it's a wrap to the head, let's say. I don't know. I'm not
Well,
sure.
that's a 15-yarder if it is.
I have no idea. I don't know if that's considered a personal foul or what. Or where it occurred or how it occurred.
It's 5 yards, but so I have no idea what that penalty was.
Well, maybe it's is that illegal participation or something like that? Or
Oh,
maybe
that
too
could
many
be.
men on the field.
Too many in the huddle.
Yeah, I don't know if they do the huddle thing in high school.
Or maybe not enough men on the line of scrimmage, but I would think that'd be a procedure.
But Nekoosa could have run that first play of the half with 12 players, I assume. So it's 1st and 15 now. They run pretty much the same play. Peckham, a little bit better result, but not a whole lot of yardage. No. Brought down around the 30.
Wide is not our forte tonight.
They give Aaron 2 on the carry. Now, Nekoosa several times tonight has tried to hand the ball to the wingback who's been in motion, and I don't think they've picked up 5 yards in 7 tries in that play. See what we do here on second down. Straight ahead, broken tackle. Kokoka almost got out of there. Good play by number 80, Tyler Yonke. I'll tell you what, Yonke doesn't make that play, and Colton could still be running. Colton picked up 4, but because of the penalty, Nekoosa still looking at the 3rd and long, 3rd and 9.
It's taking a long time to get this play in, Tom. From when the official started the clock.
Nekoosa needs to hustle up. Back judge looking at his watch right now. And there goes the count.
2,
they got 4 seconds
3.
to get this off, and they do. Owen wants to keep it. They're running wide, and Owen, well, some yards, but certainly short of the first down. Owen picked up about 3. 4th down, still 5 yards to go. So that's how that penalty hurt Nekoosa there. 5-yard penalty, and now it's 4th and 5. Number 14, Nick Holly, back for the Pioneers. He's positioned at his own 25-yard line.
They've been practicing rushing this punter, like I say, all night.
Brad Savage gets it away.
Nice punt.
It's going to hit around the 30. Not going to take much of a Nekoosa hop, though. And be down by Cody Schmidt at about the 32-yard line. So the Westfield offense hits the field. They'll be looking to chomp into that Nekoosa 10-point lead. It's been a good ball game. But again, dominated by the defenses thus far.
And turnovers.
Nekoosa with one, that being an interception by Alex Slowey. Westfield turned it over their first three possessions, didn't they, in that first quarter?
I believe they did, yes, Tom.
Twice with fumbles and then an interception by Cody Schmidt. They're going to run left. Slowey bounces from the 40. It's going to be interesting when they mark the football. They're going to mark it up near the first down.
It is a first down.
It's the first time we've seen Alex Slowey keep the football and run left tonight. Everything has been right, or was right, in the first half. Slowey from the shotgun. Spencer Burke next to him in the backfield. Gonna throw. Nice play, Justin Mortel. Slowey trying to get the football to Greg Winkleman. And there wasn't a whole lot of room for that football to fit. So Westfield comes out and throws on first down. I don't think we saw that at all in the first half. Westfield changing their thinking a little bit on offense. Nekoosa was very successful putting pressure on the Westfield quarterback in throwing situations in the first half. Back to the run. Slowey crosses the 45, fights his way to about the 47. 5 yards on the carry.
I'd like to say this is a big down for Westfield, but it's not really a big down because you don't know what they're going to do on fourth down.
That's probably four down territory anyway. Now, Westfield's defense has really controlled Nekoosa well tonight.
Yes, it's not like we've been running right through them.
Ball's near midfield. 3rd and 5. Slowey left side. It's going to be short. Number 56, Trent Layton, along with 88, Hunter Miller in on the stop. And Slowey about 2 yards short of that first down.
He's going into punt formation, but...
Boy, you got to be careful here, huh?
Yeah.
Now this is interesting. When Westfield punts, they actually have 3 receivers lined up left and 2 right. So there's all kinds of options to run or pass the ball for Slowey. And he picks a spot and gets the first down. They weren't going to punt the football at all that time, were they?
And Nekoosa knew it was coming. It's not like we didn't know it was coming.
Just couldn't stop it. Maybe they should punt every down.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, we couldn't stop it.
Why don't they go wide? I mean, spread like that all the time. I mean, they've obviously got a very talented quarterback. Slowey can run the football with the best of them. 6 yards on the carry, 1st and 10. Ball now at the 43-yard line. 7:20 to play, 3rd quarter. Nobody in the backfield except Slowey this time. Now a man in motion, and he gets the pitch. Turns the corner and is upended.
Who was that? Number...
Colton Kokoka put Tanner Akers in the air. Just when it looked like Akers might bust out of there. Still a good gain for the Westfield back. He picked up 6 on the play. You know, they do have those wristbands out there yet, Dan, too. They look at them in the huddle now. That's what they do. 2nd and 4. Throw. Slowey had a man out there. Number 45, Tanner Akers, overshot him.
Nekoosa's got to be careful because I watched him release that ball, and I watched the ball, and then when I look back, I see that Slowey was on the ground.
close to a late hit, you're saying, huh?
Well, I didn't see him get hit, but I see him release the ball, and there was nobody that close to him.
So Westfield back to a 3rd and about 4 situation, similar to what we saw just a few minutes ago. On that occasion, Slowey kept the football. I expect the same thing here. Runs right, he's got a first down, and almost broke out of there.
He's getting tremendous blocking up front, Tom. He's
got a nice alley to run through.
Yes,
You're right.
He did.
He took that ball from the 37 down to the 27. And Westfield on the prowl. Nekoosa's defense needs to step up and make a play. On the running plays, I just don't see the penetration tonight we've seen in other games when the Nekoosa defense has been on the field. It's been more of a chase thing tonight for Nekoosa. Tanner Akers gonna take it the distance. So Westfield runs wide one more time, and Tanner Akers takes it 27 yards to pay dirt. 6:03 to play now here in the 3rd, and Westfield polls to win 4 at 17-13.
He had 2 blockers on that side, Tom, that just did a tremendous job for him opening that hole.
So Weishar on to attempt the point, get his team back within 3, and he drills it. We've got a ball game in Westfield. 6:03 to play, 3rd quarter. It's now Nekoosa 17 and Westfield 14. Westfield has it teed up. Number 20, Paul Tordoff, the kicker. And he hits a squibber. It's going to be picked up at about the 18 by Tarek Tuttle. And Tuttle is stopped by a nice tackle made by number 54, Jay Canel. Boy, Canel got a hold of those legs and wasn't going to let go, was he? You know, Westfield has good speed. We've seen that,
yes.
You know, but they're quick also. I mean, we can't run outside on them because they're too quick for us, really. And Canel, even on that play, was very quick to take down Tuttle, who was trying to make a cut. From the 25, Linsmeyer. Hunter Miller couldn't bring it down. Pretty good throw by Owen. Pretty good coverage also by number 10, Greg Winkleman.
It was a good throw by Owen. Right on the money.
And Hunter almost brought that thing home. Now Nekoosa, 2nd and long, 2nd and 10. We're so used to seeing Nekoosa break off big chunks of yards on the ground. It's been sort of a strange night tonight, hasn't it? Very few big plays running the football. Throw again. And this time incomplete. I believe that was intended for number 4, Ryan Liebherr. But Nekoosa, as they often do, had 2 receivers in the area.
Right next to each other.
Right next to each other. So pick your poison, right? So Nekoosa on the verge of going 3 and out and using about 10 seconds of the clock.
Yeah, not much.
Another passing down. Westfield well aware of that now, and Nekoosa very slow getting the play in again. Just came in now. You probably only have about 10 seconds to get the play out.
Yes, and you don't want to use a timeout.
Owen.
Uh-oh.
Trying to set up a screen. Kokoka has some room. Lost the football, though. I think he stepped out of bounds before he lost the football, and that's going to cost him a first down, I think.
Yeah, he's going to be short.
But I tell you what, if Owen could have got that ball out there in a little better shape, that could have been a very, very big play. But Colton had a weight on it, actually come back to get the football. And because of that, the pursuit got him. 2 yards short of the first down, punt team on. Brad Savage back in punt formation. Nick Holly back. He's for Westfield at about the 30-yard line. Savage hits a bad one here. That's going to take a hop. Well, actually took a Nekoosa hop. There it goes the other way. That ball looked like it was opposite end over end that time. So Westfield in very good shape. Their defense holds Nekoosa without a problem. And now they've got a fairly short field in which they could take a lead. Their first of the night. Now Nekoosa looks a little bit bewildered now on both sides of the football.
I agree. That did come very close to Mawson running into the kicker, too. Very, very close.
Westfield, yes.
Westfield. I keep saying Mawson. Why?
Because I get those confused, too, sometimes. Westfield and Mawson. Not confused, but I interchange them for some reason. Yeah. So a procedure penalty is going to set back Westfield 5 yards. Only the second penalty called on the Pioneers tonight. 1st and 15, the ball at the 40. Slowey, big hole. On his feet. Almost broke out of there. Saving tackle made by, I believe it was number 7, Hunter Sipla.
You know, Tom, our front four on defense hasn't really made too many tackles tonight.
No, we're not getting any penetration from that defensive front. And Westfield's doing a great job of getting a lot of blockers out in front of Slowey. And those blockers are doing a good job of doing something, making a block and getting out of the way for Slowey, too. And Nekoosa needs to stack that up a little bit. 1st and 10, the ball at the 38. And a little confusion on the Westfield side.
Coach did a smart thing, call timeout.
And they take a timeout. 4:55 to play in the third. It's Nekoosa 17 and Westfield 14. So Westfield's used their first timeout of the half. Now they're 1st and 10 from the Nekoosa 38. Slowey inside handoff. And a good play by Nekoosa. Dylan Bauer all over the running back, Tanner Akers. A loss of about 3. So that's a good start. Nekoosa had a little penetration that time. Or you could say Westfield didn't block that play very well, too.
Yeah.
Now Nekoosa's got to take away that little quarterback off tackle run. And I think penetration would take care of that also. So here it comes again. Slowey. Yep. Really ran about 5-6 yards downfield before being touched that time.
I agree with you, Tom. He's got good blocking up front, and they just keep, and he just follows them blockers.
And he picked up 7 there, and it made it look very easy. So now Westfield in business. 3rd down and about 6. Is it 3rd down?
Yep.
That's right. We had the good play by Bauer. 3rd and 6. Ball at the 34. They pitch it. Try to get outside. Get a good block. And Tanner Akers almost broke out of there. Boy, Nekoosa came up to make a play that time, and somebody for Westfield really threw a good block to spring Akers. But he is short of the first down by about a yard. No brainer here. Westfield's offense is on the field.
Yeah, well, yeah. And it's no brainer who's going to take it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd bother handing it off myself.
Nope.
But we get a timeout on the field. What is this now? That's equipment timeout.
Equipment timeout.
Oh, it's an official timeout. Maybe they're going to measure it. So maybe Westfield requested a measurement on the play.
They're not going over there.
And then I'm not sure what the delay is all about. Oh, here come the chains.
Here comes the chains. Last time they did this, Westfield fumbled.
That's right, they did on a 4th and 1.
Yeah. Oh, not short. Oh,
Short by, 2 feet, huh?
by a quarterback sneak.
Yeah. We haven't seen one of those tonight. If Slowey lines up under center, the sneak is coming. Has he done that all night? I'm not sure. I just see shotgun every play myself, but he's going to get up under center this time. No, he's not.
No, he's not. This surprises
It's a
me.
little shorter shotgun, though. Look for Slowey to keep it. Oh, they're going to try to draw Nekoosa off. That is crazy. They just spent their second time. Well, I'd get up there and run the play. 2:42 to play, 17-14, Nekoosa.
Boy, I don't understand that.
So Westfield has rethought it. It's still 4th down and about 2 feet. Slowey still in the shotgun. Gonna run left. Got a first down. Hanging on for dear life, Cody Schmidt. And Slowey picks up about 10. Well, you can see that coming. I mean, they had their hands stacked to the left side. They put the man in motion to the left side. Just no doubt they were running left that time with their quarterback. He's having a pretty darn good night.
Yeah, they're basically having their way right now as an Nekoosa defense.
The ball position now at the 15-yard line. New set of downs for the Pioneers. They split a receiver left this time. 2 wingbacks, a single back by the quarterback, Slowey. Slowey trying to pick his spot and ran into a Nekoosa player that time, didn't he? 72 is Tristan Holden. And Tristan throws the Westfield quarterback to the ground for a short loss of about 1.
I thought that was a quick whistle myself. I know they're trying to protect the quarterback, but I really thought it was a quick whistle.
Now Nekoosa needs 2 or 3 more of those plays, right?
Yeah.
To thwart this drive.
About 3 of them. I'm going to spread us out a little bit
See if
more.
Westfield goes to the air here on 2nd and 11. They pitch it. Got a good block on the edge again. Number 80, Tyler Yankee, threw a good block on Aaron Peckham. And Akers picks up about 4. No, Aaron's up there to make the play. He's in good shape to do so, and it was a good block that time by Yankee. And I've seen that more than once tonight. This Westfield receivers, their ends, are doing a good job of making those blocks.
Run right, left rather.
Going to run left, 3rd and 7. No, they're going to run right. Wherever the man in motion goes, they run.
There was a hold on that one.
And Slowey makes it look easy. Takes it 11 yards into the end zone. And Westfield has their first lead of the night. It comes at the 52nd mark of the 3rd quarter. They now lead 20-17. Slowey's first score tonight on the ground. And Weischer adds the point. 50 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. Westfield 21, Nekoosa 17. Westfield will kick it back to Nekoosa.
Boy, they're strong right, aren't they?
John Weischer will kick the football this time. And it's a short kick, picked up on 1 hop by Cody Schmidt. Cody. Good return out near the 40-yard line. But Cody does a good job of just picking it up and going. No hesitation. Of course, he's popped 1 kickoff return for a score this year. I believe that was against Poinette. Nekoosa with 45 seconds to play yet here in the 3rd. They find themselves down for the first time in the night. Let's see how the papermakers react. Having problems moving the football, that's for certain. Peckham in motion, and Nekoosa runs left side. Tarek Tuttle. breaks away. 10-5. How about that, huh? Holy smokes. Tarek Tuttle had a good hold, but should have went down 10 yards downfield. Refused to do so, and takes it 60 yards to pay dirt. Boy, Nekoosa strikes quickly following the Westfield touchdown.
I don't know what to say, Tom.
It is a bit of a shocker, isn't it? Brad Savage bangs it through. 33 seconds to play in the quarter. It's now Nekoosa 24 and Westfield 21. So now it's Nekoosa kicking the football away. Brad Savage from the 40-yard line. Squibb picked up at the 30, and Nekoosa puts down the return man at the 35. Hunter Miller, 56, Trent Layton on the stop. Westfield with pretty good field position, though. They're going to start from their 37. 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Now Nekoosa's got to figure out this Westfield offense.
Yeah, I agree.
They have been moving the ball just way too quickly, too easily here in the third quarter.
Yeah, even when they get a 5-yard penalty, it doesn't seem to daunt them.
And it's all the quarterback, Slowey. Key off of Slowey, make somebody else beat you for a while. There's the quarterback. Short gain of about 2. Nekoosa does a pretty good job of plugging up the hole that time.
That might be the last play of this quarter, Tom.
Well, we've got a lot of action coming in the fourth, that's for certain. We've got a really good game for us tonight. As the outcome is extremely in doubt as we enter the fourth quarter. We played 3. Nekoosa leading 24-21. So Westfield outscores Nekoosa 14-7 in the third period. Nekoosa, though, with the lead as we enter the fourth. Flag on the play as I believe that's Tanner Akers with the football. Short gain of about 3. That's got to be a hold.
If it's a hole, send them back.
Flag thrown from the far side by the line judge right in front of the Nekoosa bench. Do you think the Nekoosa bench could influence that call at all?
All the time.
So Nekoosa could decline the penalty and make it 3rd and 6 or 7.
I'd send them back.
But they're going to take the penalty and march them back to. Actually, that penalty occurred in the backfield, too, so it's more than 10 yards.
Yeah.
But it's going to be second down again now. Second down, and I'd say about 23 coming up for Westfield.
And Westfield very capable of picking this up.
Oh, heck yeah, one play.
Yeah.
So this is a really important down right here. If Nekoosa can have a pretty good second down play defensively, it's going to make third down a heck of a lot easier for him, too. No pressure on the quarterback this time, and he's going to run. Breaks a tackle, takes it out of bounds at the 40.
5 yards short of a first down?
How about 7, I'd say.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much in the same position they would have been in if Nekoosa had declined the penalty. Nekoosa's got to do a little better job of tackling there. Well, Slowey is slippery, though.
You know, these other teams in the conference are getting tougher and tougher. It makes for more interesting games, doesn't it?
Oh, most definitely. You want to have a good competition in the conference, and been a very competitive game tonight. 3rd down and 7. Gonna keep it. Any containment out there? You betcha. Nekoosa hustles to the football and puts the Westfield quarterback out at about the 42-yard line. So about 2 yards on the carry, maybe a yard on the carry.
Maybe about a yard.
Still about, 6 to go for that first down.
Well, I think I'd punt. I really do.
Well, I'm sure the punt team's on for Westfield. The question is,
will he punt?
Will they punt? You know, the other thing they can do out of this formation, of course, is throw it. And we haven't seen that yet tonight. Nekoosa doesn't even have anybody back looking for the punt. They are so concerned about Slowey in this formation. He's going to drift one way or the other. I'd put a lot of pressure on him myself. Nice job, Hunter Miller.
See, sometimes you play such good football and then you shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, I think that's a poor decision right there. I mean, they look desperate to go for that first down on fourth down. Punt the football. Your defense has been playing well except for one play in the second half. Take your chances that way. I'd agree with you, Dan.
Yeah, I don't know why. I would have never done that.
But a nice play by Hunter Miller to get a hand on that pass by Slowey and Nekoosa with a short field. See if we can pick up a few first downs, chew up some clock, and get a score. Straight ahead on first down, and Nekoosa looked really sort of slow coming off the line of scrimmage that time. Kokoka was the ball carrier, and Colton picks up maybe a yard. Going to mark it right around the 40.
I like that rollout by Owen and then trying to get one of his receivers cutting across.
Well, let's see what Nekoosa does here. They're going to run the counter play. And Peckham almost got through there. That is Peckham, isn't it? Yes, it is. He almost got through there, but a good play by number 88, Brett Middlestat. Boy, I tell you, it's the same players making the plays over and over again for Westfield. Middlestat, Yankee, Slowey. Senior leaders doing a good job for the Pioneers.
I agree.
39, 10:30 to play in the ball game. Nekoosa, everybody tight. They do have a wingback on the left side. And again, they look very slow coming off the line of scrimmage. Owen drills a pass in there. Is it caught?
No.
Nope, they say it's incomplete.
Wouldn't have been a first down anyway, Tom. Would have been about 7 yards short.
Is that Ryan Liebherr again? Is that the intended receiver? So now Nekoosa is going to punt it away.
Good.
Which is the right thing here.
I agree. I think it's a good choice.
You got to make sure you get the punt away, though, number one. Brad Savage back, good snap. Plenty of time this time, and he hits a nice spiral. Maybe too nice as it kicks into the end zone.
Yeah.
Boy, if he would have hit a wobbler that time, that would have been perfect. I know, Savage hit a good spiral 40-yard punt. Of course, 20-yard net as they bring it out to the 20-yard line. So it didn't take long. The Westfield offense back on the field. And Nekoosa defensively must be getting a little bit tired.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time on defense.
And I tell you, defense wears you out because you're chasing all the time. Offense, you know where you're going, but defense, you're chasing the ball all the time. And that can take a lot out of a team. 1st and 10. Slowey stopped up pretty good. Short gain of about 2, I believe. Boy, it's so hard to tell on this field. $9:50 to play in the ball game.
Natives are getting restless, Tom.
Westfield fans are getting a little antsy.
They want to see the ball in the air.
2 receivers left, 1 in motion, and they pitch it to him right. And a good job by Nekoosa as they react to that play very nicely. Hunter Sipla along with Cody Schmidt in on the stop. A gain of about 2. So again, Westfield facing 3rd and what we consider long. About 6.5, 7 yards. Let's say 6. 3rd and 6. I would look for him to throw here.
I do too.
And I tell you what, if you put Slowey back there to throw, he's always a threat to run you. But he's going to keep it instead. He picks his way short of the first down, I believe. He needs the 30-yard line. Maybe they're going to mark him right at the 30. Is that right? That may be a first down. Nope, they're going to say 4th down. Well, at least the back judge was saying 4th down.
We're going to measure.
Another measurement. We've had a few of those tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, I think it's about the third one, isn't it?
Team statistics coming into tonight's action. Colton Kokoka, the leading rusher for the Papermakers. He has 500 yards entering tonight's game and 8 scores. Brett Merritt
First down.
is number 2. He's 328 yards. It is a first down. Of course, Brett Merritt has been out for the last 2 ball games. He has a shoulder problem. I'm not sure if Brett will be back on the football field this season or not.
We sure miss him, too.
Another Nekoosa player not on the field tonight is Geraldo Gonzalez, a senior defensive tackle and offensive tackle. Saw him in street clothes at halftime. 1st and 10 from the 30 for the Pioneers. Slowey got some good blocking that time, but Nekoosa closed in pretty good and limited the quarterback to about a 2-yard gain. Student body right, student body right, student body right. 8:39 to play now in the game. Nekoosa clinging to a 3-point lead. Westfield's turned it over 3 times tonight. Boy, it should be nice to see that 4th one come now. They pitch it to Akers, and he's got the corner. Look out. Breaks away, breaks the tackle. Aaron Peckham finally puts him down. Well, I thought maybe he had stepped out of bounds back here, but evidently not. And Akers with a big play for this Westfield offense, all the way down to the 24-yard line. So Nekoosa defensively on their heels again. I need to dig in, get a stop. Second half has really belonged to Westfield. Nekoosa with one big play. That's a 60-yard run by Tuttle. But otherwise, the Westfield offense has been on the field for the majority of the half. Slowey will pitch it again to Akers. And this time, Nekoosa does a little better job. Justin Mortel pulls down Akers at about the 21. Now they're going to mark it at the 23, I guess. 2-yard pickup. See the Westfield kicker, John Weisschauer, stretching out on the sidelines, realizing that he might get a shot here to tie the ball game. 2nd and 8 from the 23. They surprised the Papermakers straight ahead, but the ball came out, heading the other way. Is that Cody Schmidt with the football or Matt McDonald? That's Matt McDonald. Hang on to the football. And he does. What a break for Nekoosa. Spencer Burke popped through the middle, was near the goal line, took a hit, and the ball popped into the air right into the hands of Matt McDonald.
Yeah, right into his hands.
And Matt returned it all the way down to the Westfield 23-yard line, and boy, did that change things around in a hurry. Now Nekoosa needs to capitalize on that mistake. 7:33 to play in the game. They have a first down.
Well, maybe it'll give them some spark, the offense.
4th turnover of the night by the Pioneers. Tuttle, Kokoka breaks a couple of tackles and carries a man down to about the 15-yard line. Good run by Colton Kokoka.
I just keep pounding it up the middle, Tom.
6 yards for Colton, and he got probably 4 of those on his own. Clock running, 7:10 to play. That's a great call by Westfield, by the way. You know, they've been running wide all night, and then they finally pop a quick hitter into the middle. Just didn't work out. And again, Nekoosa just not getting off the ball very well. They're going to have a procedure penalty. It seems like the snap has been slow or fast or something all night tonight. But the coordination just not there. So Nekoosa had been put themselves in a pretty good position, 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, now it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, 9 anyway. Ball back at the 20-yard line.
I'd pass it.
Linsmeyer looks over the defense. I think he's waiting for the...
Yeah, there.
He's trying to run as much clock as he can. It's a little early in the game to do that. Colton, good run. And actually pretty good blocking on the right side that time. He did have a lane. It looked like a pretty good gain, but he only gets about 3 yards out of it, if that. Nekoosa is in territory, field goal territory for Brad Savage, who has a pretty good leg.
I don't think they'll kick, Tom. I don't think they'll go for a field goal, regardless.
I think I would. I'd take the points, especially if it's going to be 3rd and 5 or 4th and 5. But we'll see what Nekoosa does here on 3rd down and about 7. Owen, nobody to hand it to. Throws it. He's got a man.
I think you're right.
Colton Nekoosa with the catch. That was a completely broken play. No flags on the field, no linemen downfield. Wow. What a break for Nekoosa. You got to hand it to Owen. He made a heck of a play.
I agree, Tom.
He turned around to hand it to somebody, and there was nobody there. So he started wandering right, thinking
He
of
wasn't
running.
wandering. He was running for his life.
And I don't know. He hooked up with Nekoosa. That's like 3 catches tonight for Colton. And I mean big play catches. How about a quarterback sneak straight ahead? 1st and goal from about the 3. They run right side. Nekoosa, touchdown. Colton Nekoosa, I believe. Yes, Colton Nekoosa from 3 yards out. Nekoosa puts a little room between them and the Pioneers with 5:14 to play. Nekoosa now on top 30-21.
Boy, how quickly a game can change.
Boy, Nekoosa living right in the last couple minutes. Brad Savage pushes the extra point wide right. So the conversion fails. 5:14 to play. It's now Nekoosa 30 and Westfield 21. Brad Savage keeps it low. Picked up at about the 25. Greg Winkleman returns it to about the 32. And the Nekoosa player got hit pretty good there. I believe that was Tarek Tuttle. Took that blind side block.
This is a closely contested game by 2 teams, but you watch out there, there's a lot of sportsmanship out there.
Some respect out there.
Yeah,
That's
players
good.
from other teams picking up other players, patting them on the back.
We haven't seen a Carlos Gomez demonstration out there tonight.
No. But like I said, I've noticed that.
Westfield still in this ball game. That's for certain. They trail by 9 now. 5:09 to play.
Now watch a fight break out.
1st down pass. Got a man. Great pass from Slowey to Greg Winkleman. And Nekoosa can't let Winkleman or anybody else get behind him like that. As Westfield chews up a bunch of yards, probably about 40 yards on the play in a very, very short time.
Yeah. And that time Slowey had time to pass too.
Plenty of time to pass. And he laid it out there perfectly. A little bit of breeze he's throwing into, but we've been looking at the flag, and it's sizable right now. 1st and 10, the ball at the 23. They try to run wide to the short side of the field, and Akers somehow tippy-toes down that sideline and for a pretty good gain. That's more than once Nekoosa's let that runner get outside tonight, as Akers did there. Akers picks up about 7 on the play. Clock is stopped, 4:42 to play. A lot of time left in this ball game. From the 17, Alex Slowey in the shotgun. Counter play inside. Good pickup. First down yardage for Tanner Akers.
I'm going to call it first and goal, Tom. It is first and goal.
Akers takes it to the 11-yard line. That's 11-yard line, I think, Dan.
I'm still going to call it first and goal.
Now they can get a first down if they get the ball down on the 1-yard line. Two receivers right. Man in motion that way, they pitch that way. And Nekoosa comes up and makes a pretty good play on Akers this time. As Hunter Sipla puts Akers down. Good job by Colton Kokoka turning that play inside. Nekoosa looking tired defensively. Sipla getting up slow there. Under 4 minutes to play now, 3:50. Westfield 2nd and 9, the ball at the 10-yard line. Tom's prediction, they're going to put a man in motion to the right, and they're going to run that way.
Oh, what a hole.
And Slowey bulls his way close to the goal line. I'm not sure if he has a first down or not. He did not get into the
he got a first down.
It is a first down, so they're down to the 1-yard line. And it hasn't taken Westfield long at all to get there. Clock is running, 3:30 to play. And Westfield wasting a little bit of time right now, just trying to figure out what to run. Be huge for Nekoosa to get a stop on first down here, just to run some more clock. From the shotgun, touchdown. Alex Slowey takes it in from a yard out. And the Nekoosa lead is down to 3 points now at 30-27 with 3:12 to play in the fourth quarter. So Nekoosa scores, Westfield answers. Quite the ball game tonight. Weischer on to attempt a point. This is a big point now. And he's good. It's a 2-point ball game. 3:12 to play in the ball game. It's now Nekoosa 30 and Westfield 28. Now the question is whether or not Westfield will onside the kick, and they do. Ball's on the ground. Who's got it? Westfield got it. No flags.
What surprised me is that the front line of Nekoosa never went after the ball.
Well, you know, a lot of times they're taught to do that. The front five or whatever is supposed to pick a man and let the layer behind them pick the ball. But yeah, if you got an easy catch, make it, right?
Yeah. I thought it took a bounce, and I thought somebody in the front could have just, jumped on it.
So Westfield with the football again. They still have 3 minutes plus to play. Trailing now only by 2. A field goal will put them in the lead. Akers. Good tough run. Still on his feet. Finally wrestled down at about the 39. Clock continues to run as he did not get out of bounds.
I don't think the clock's going to be a factor.
Three yards on the pickup. 2nd and 7 coming up. And Westfield surprising me with the amount of time they're taking to run the next play. Maybe a little indecision on the bench. They've run the play clock down about 20 seconds. They're going to run left. And pick up about 4. Clock running, 2 minutes to play. They are short of the first down yet. We have a third down coming up in about 3. Minute 58 to play in the game. And again, Westfield taking a very long time figuring out the play. I mean, they're running their offense quicker than this. The rest of the entire game before this.
Penalty.
They actually took a delay of game. Well, it's just crazy. I can't understand why they're so confused on offense all of a sudden. But boy, yeah, they've been very pensive in getting up and running a play. Now the clock should start running again, I believe. He did not start the clock. He should have.
No, I don't think so, Tom.
The clock was running when the penalty occurred. When he marks the ball for play again, the clock should be running. That's how I understand it. But it's frozen in a $1:33, third down and about 8 now. Akers is going to throw it. And he makes a heck of a throw to Winkleman. And Winkleman just short of the goal line. The gadget play pays off for Westfield. But I tell you what, that was just a brilliant pass that time by Tanner Akers. He laid the ball right on the money to Winkleman, who was covered fairly well by Colton Nekoosa.
That was a heck of a catch, Tom.
I mean, that was just good execution. Minute 24 to play. The clock is not running because Winkleman was taken out of bounds on the play. But now, Westfield just a yard away from the lead as they putting on the big rally here late in the fourth quarter. From the shotgun, the quarterback Slowey. Taking his time, I don't think he realizes the clock isn't running.
I don't think so either, Tom. I agree with you.
Now he gets up under center and does not get in, which isn't the end of the world there. They've got a field goal kicker as well, and a field goal beats Nekoosa right now. Nekoosa took the timeout there first of the half. Minute 15 to play, 30-28, Nekoosa. Second down for Westfield. Ball a yard away from the goal line. Westfield down by 3 points. Make that 2 points. Slowey. Touchdown, Westfield. Alex Slowey scores again. His third rushing touchdown on the night. He's also thrown for one. And Westfield takes the lead with only a minute 12 to play. They now lead 34-30. Weishauer on to attempt the point. The point doesn't mean much right now. Nekoosa down 5. They could go for 2, and they're going to go for 2. So if they 2-point conversion will make a 7-point lead. And it's not going to happen as Dylan Bauer puts down Slowey. Might have been nice if that would have been happening all night, huh? Minute 12 to play. It's now Westfield 34 and Nekoosa 30. So now it's really down to crunch time. Only a minute 12 to play and Nekoosa down by 4. Westfield has hit little pooch kicks all night, kicking off. Let's see what they do now with the lead and so little time left. Maybe they'll kick the ball deep.
Maybe they'll.
Now it's the pooch kick. Picked up by Cody Schmidt. Got a running start. And Cody got away. Cody down the sideline. Cody Schmidt in the clear. 10-5. I don't believe what I just saw. Cody Schmidt just took the kick 65 yards. Make that 75 yards. And all of a sudden, Nekoosa back on top with 59 seconds to play. Holy smokes. Dan, what do you think?
I'm not saying, I don't know. I've never seen a game like this.
A game which was a defensive battle.
It's not over.
A game which was a defensive battle in the first half has turned into a shootout here in the fourth quarter. And Cody Schmidt, the Nekoosa hero right now. Of course, we still got a minute to play.
Yeah, this has all happened within a minute, so.
Brad Savage on to attempt the point, and he slips, and the point is no good.
That was a big point.
Yeah, now a field goal wins the ball game for Westfield.
Wait. I saw the officials talking. I was wondering if there was a flag, but there wasn't.
Still 59 seconds to play. You know, it's getting hard to keep track of the score here on my little pad of paper. Cody Schmidt, that's his second touchdown return, or a kickoff return for a touchdown this year. And boy, I like Cody Schmidt back there. We said that earlier in the game. Just the way he picks up the ball and then just goes straight forward and fast and as hard as he can. No hesitation whatsoever. So it was just a huge play by Cody. Now Nekoosa needs to hang on, and I mean hang on.
Yeah, I agree.
Westfield does have the one timeout left, right?
Right, one timeout.
And we just saw them move the football the length of the field pretty much in about
3 plays?
Yeah.
4, I think it ended up being.
I mean, they chewed up time just trying to figure out plays there in their last possession, but overall, no, they've been showing a lot of firepower here tonight. Brad Savage. Oh, no.
No. That isn't what you wanted.
Oh, I can't believe we did that. Westfield has the football at the 40-yard line. So we give Westfield a fairly short field.
Yep, and they only need a field goal, Tom.
And not a second came off the clock. Something had to come off the clock. He caught the football.
You're playing at Westfield.
He ran a couple of feet forward. Now Nekoosa's defense has to dig in. I would guess, and I'm just guessing, I don't know the leg of their kicker, John Weischer, at all, but I would think they need to get down to the 20, maybe the 15-yard line to have a shot at a field goal attempt. And now Nekoosa takes a timeout. 59 seconds to play. Still a 2-point game. So Nekoosa has their plans made now on defense. From the shotgun, Alex Slowey. Under pressure, goes down. Huge play made by number 7, Hunter Sipla. Just a huge defensive play by the Nekoosa defensive end.
Their last time out.
Slowey kept dropping back even after he saw Sipla and ended up losing about 15 yards on that pass attempt. Ball back at the 25-yard line. As Dan said, Westfield has burned their last time out. Did time go off the clock there?
Yeah,
oh,
7 seconds.
7 seconds.
That's about right.
So we're down to 52 to play in the ball game. This has been just an unbelievable game tonight. I don't think I've ever seen a game in the South Central in the 10 years we've been doing this to match this one. I mean, Nekoosa has gotten some breaks. They've made some breaks. They made a couple of big plays. And they've been fortunate to get some big plays defensively.
Yes, and I agree. And Westfield has shot themselves in the foot at least 4 or 5 times tonight.
The last time being the kickoff return, yeah.
I mean, really, they.
52 seconds to play. Slowey from the shotgun. Got it away this time. Cody Schmidt in coverage. And it's an incomplete pass. I didn't see the ball hit the ground, but the official came over and ruled it incomplete.
He was there. He's a lot closer than we are, Tom.
And I'm not even sure who the intended receiver was. Was it number 80? Tyler Yankee? But a good play by Cody Schmidt to break up that pass. Second down coming up. Or make that third down coming up.
Got an arm on him, though, doesn't he?
3rd and 25. Yeah, that's why it's so important to get that pressure on him, obviously.
Yep.
Nekoosa has really dropped. Like their linebackers now are about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It looks like they're just going to rush 4 and then play coverage. Little bit of pressure. Got out of there. Incomplete, I believe. Intended for Yankee. Slowey rolled to his left, got out of there, made a pass toward Yankee, but not a good one that time. And Westfield down to their last play. Unless they can pick up 25 yards, which is certainly in their realm of possibility.
Yes, it is.
Clock, by the way, down to 39.8 seconds. Westfield out of timeouts. Nekoosa with 1, we think, remaining. Nekoosa will try to double the outside receivers and also try to get some pressure on the quarterback, and they do.
That's it.
Who is that? Dylan Bauer? Tristan Holden. Tristan Holden with a huge play, and that's going to wrap it up for Nekoosa tonight. Wow. What a ball game.
Don't believe it.
What a seesaw affair. It's a shame that either team has to lose.
I agree 100%.
Honest to goodness, it's a shame. But if Nekoosa has to win, I guess Nekoosa has to win. And now Nekoosa takes a timeout.
Yeah.
What time is it?
9:30.
It's been a long night. So the Papermakers will talk it over one more time. Really, all they have to do now is take a snap and take a knee. And this game is going to be over.
I agree with you, Tom. It's a shame.
But I suppose Coach Becker wants to make sure that all his ducks are in a row here.
I really predict that right now that Westfield's going to go the rest of the way in the conference undefeated.
Well, they sure look at that. We were talking at one of the timeouts tonight, who they had left. I mean, Watoma was the only team we could think of that might even have a chance against Westfield. And if Westfield plays like they have tonight the rest of the year, they're gonna win out.
And there's a real good possibility we can see them in the playoffs if we can win one more game in the conference.
Watoma is sort of a mystery day. Not sure what we're going to see with Watoma, but they'll be at Holland Field next week. So we're going to get a real good idea of how we match up with the Hornets. Clock running down. I don't think Nekoosa needs to run another play. And I tell you what, this one's going to go into my memory bank and stick there for a while. Just an incredible game tonight between these two fine high schools. Clock runs down, and Nekoosa has their second conference win on the season. Papermakers with the win. Now 2-0 in the conference. They are 5-1 overall. Westfield slips to 1-1 in the conference, and they are now 3-3 on this football season. So congratulations, Coach Jason Becker and all the other Nekoosa coaches, and of course to the seniors and the remaining players on this Nekoosa football team for a hard-fought, and I mean hard-fought victory tonight over Westfield.
What was there, about 3 or 4 touchdowns in the last 5 minutes?
It almost seems that way, Dan. We're going to have to try to figure that out. It was a 24-21 game, Nekoosa, after 3 quarters. So Nekoosa, actually Westfield outscored Nekoosa 13-12 down the stretch. A lot of scoring tonight. It wasn't quite the way we thought it would work out. Actually, both teams were sort of stagnant offensively to begin the game. Brad Savage got the scoring off for Nekoosa with a 24-yard field goal in the first quarter, and that was the entire scoring. And they had first quarter, and Nekoosa led 3-0 after 1. First play of the second quarter, Owen Linsmeyer hooked up with Hunter Miller for another Nekoosa score. This a 32-yard pass. Savage's kick made it 10-0 at that point. Westfield got their first score at the 7:30 mark of the second quarter on a Alex Slowey 19-yard pass to Brent Middlestat. John Weishauer's kick made it 10-7 at that point. But Nekoosa got a big score with only 34 seconds left in the half. A 1-yard Colton Kokoka run. They led 17-7 at halftime. Third quarter and most of the fourth quarter really belonged to Westfield. They scored the first 2 touchdowns of that third period. A Tanner Akers 27-yard run and a Alex Slowey 11-yard run. gave Westfield their first lead at 21-17. But Nekoosa got a big play from Tarek Tuttle as he took a middle off tackle play 60 yards. Rushing touchdown. Nekoosa led 24-21 after 3. And then that fourth quarter, holy cow. Colton Kokoka scored on a 2-yard run. Nekoosa led 30-21. Slowey came back with a 1-yard run with 3 minutes and 12 seconds to play, cutting Nekoosa's lead to 30-28. Slowey then scored from a yard out with just a minute 12 to play to give Westfield what looked like a win. 34-30 lead with just a minute 12 to go, but Cody Schmidt would have nothing to do with that. He took the ensuing kickoff 75 yards for a score, a winning score. Nekoosa wins tonight 36-34. And by the way, Dan, to answer your question, in the last 5 minutes of the ball game, there were 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
2 by Westfield and 2 by Nekoosa. So a great game tonight, a great win.
Yeah, you know, Westfield's problem tonight was what they have 4 turnovers, and
4
they
turnovers.
lost every one of them.
Yep, they had 3 fumbles and an interception, and the first 2 fumbles gave Nekoosa field position in that first quarter.
Yeah, and they were going in for a touchdown that one time, and
that fourth quarter turnover when Akers burped the ball, got burped at about the 2-yard line, and McDonald took it back 70 yards. That was just monumental. So yeah, Nekoosa caught some breaks tonight, but again they made a few themselves.
But Westfield came back. You know, give them credit.
Yeah, that's what the unbelievable part of this game.
You can't give up, and Nekoosa never gave up, and I'll tell you, they won.
Well, I bet you what, all these kids are going to be good and tired when they get home tonight. I think they're going to have a real good night's sleep.
But happy. Yeah,
enjoy their Saturday morning. Maybe sleeping a little bit longer than usual. That's going to wrap it up for us tonight. My name is Tom Kurse, along with Dan Schmidt and Jim Allen, and we certainly are glad that you could join us tonight for this ball game. It was a lot of fun, and we hope to see you again next week for Nekoosa Sports.